Hi, I'm legend, icon, and star Trixie Mattel from season 7 of RuPaul's Best Friend Race. And although we are in full swing of All-Star season, we're also about to start Halloween season. And a lot of you guys like to dress up as me because I'm legendary and my makeup is so cool and fun. But a lot of people dress up as me and then they're like, look, I was you. And I look at the picture and they look like a car crash. So I'm here to help you do a really simplified, easy, like Mayfly drag queen, meaning like born and die on the same day. You don't have to spend a lot of money. There's just gonna be a couple products and it's super easy. So I'm gonna take you from this to this. First thing you wanna do is you wanna put on like a shirt that's like a rag that's worthless that nobody cares about. Perfect. You wanna cover your eyebrows. Honestly, if you're being me and your eyebrows aren't touching your hairline, it means you're not being brave. And are you gonna go through life being afraid? I don't think you should. Well, it's Halloween, I guess it's a good time to be afraid. I used to cover my brows a different way, and then on my season when Pearl did my makeup, she took the glue stick and she did like circles like this, and it's a great technique, so I recommend just doing little baby circles. And then right before I start doing my makeup, I like to look in the mirror and think, I should have went to school for international business like my brother said, but I didn't. So here we are, here you are, and you can't change that. Can't change me. And then I like to take a brush and brush out the glue. You want the hair to lay flat to your skin. I did this in my other video too, which has over 1 million views, so thank you so much for watching. And then I like to take a normal little baby wipe, and that's what I use to clean up the perimeter of the area on the glue. Because I'm a big fan of putting on an excess amount of glue, and then you just clean up around it. While your eyebrows dry, you can start on this half of your face. I use a lot of different colors of foundation, because the skin, to look like that crazy kind of Muppet marionette sculpted face, you do have to kind of get in there with a couple different colors. I like to use a big fluffy synthetic brush because it doesn't suck up the product, so it's basically plastic bristles. And I use that to start doing the kind of perimeter of my face. And I've gotten quite a bit of sun this summer, so we're kind of doing more of a tan kind of 60s surfer doll kind of look today. So get into it. So I like to use this lighter color. And you want to think like tangram shapes on your face. The biggest thing about makeup is if you're not a good makeup artist, just do what I did, just make it your thing. You know, and then no one expects anything of you. There's usually this part in the makeup I look in the mirror and I go, where did I go wrong? You know? When I'm on a plane and I'm next to somebody who's my age but he's in a suit, I'm like, where did I go wrong? Then you take your little sponge that may or may not be 6 to 8 weeks old and carries many communicable diseases. And you can use that to kind of marry these sections together, just like that. You see what I mean? I just got into LA today, and I don't know if this happened to you guys. As soon as I stepped off the plane here, the air hit my eyes, and my eyes would not stop watering. I was like, oh my God, wait. So I went to the doctor here. I thought it was gonna be allergies. Plot twist, it was not allergies. Turns out, depression. This is where I've arrived at, my truth. It's nice to remember the real reason I started doing drag, which is, free drinks. This is a super fast version of my look because I started doing this at a show where I overslept and I heard the knock at the door on the hotel room and I woke up and it was my living nightmare, which is I'm late for a drag show and I'm not ready. So I was like, just a minute. And like I was like, I'll be down in 20. And I did like a 20-minute version of what you're about to see. And it looks great because I'm a great makeup artist, but you can take longer, 20, 25 minutes, 30. So then we're gonna start getting real crazy with these deeper foundations. You wanna give yourself a full chin strap. And don't be afraid of the geometry of the face. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is when people want to be me for Halloween, they are scared of the lines on the face, but don't be scared of it. That's like part of the look. If you want to do makeup that takes skill, you know, you could be Courtney or something soft and pretty. When you're Trixie Mattel, you just set the bar so low that I could show up to work, and as long as I have a lot of makeup on, it doesn't even matter how well I apply it, they're like, she came to work today. We are getting right in here, honey. Lines, 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 lines. You see that? Like, do not be afraid of this look. If it's disappointing to me when someone's like, I was you for Halloween, and they give me like a 30% version of it. Just do it. Just practice it a couple times, and I swear, you'll be happier the more makeup you put on. I look in the mirror, you guys, and I see my face aging. I'm not 25 anymore. I'm 26. My window in this world is closing quickly. So that's like pretty good, but obviously the blending kind of messes it up. So what we're gonna do is go in there and soften all the darker areas. This makeup actually works better because there's so much cheeks. It actually works better if you're a little chubbier or if you have like rounder, fuller cheeks. It actually looks a lot better because then you have something to kind of carve into. I gained 15 pounds last year. By the way, shout out to all of you for not telling me. And I gained 15 pounds and I thought I was becoming a better makeup artist, but it was just that my face was rounder. And then we're gonna take the deepest shade I use and we're just gonna take, we're gonna use this to really just like that corner of the face, make it really deep. I like to play with all skin tones. Actually, Trixie makeup looks great if you have like a deeper skin tone because it makes the eyes like pop really white and makes the highlights of the face really stand out. So Trixie on deeper skin looks beautiful too. See that is a lot more, that looks washier. This is a lot more impactful to have that kind of, you know, three-dimensional. Like if you use more than one color to contour, it's always gonna look more realistic. We're gonna move on to the nose. 2 railroad tracks. I am a woman behind bars. And then I pinch off the end. So it should look very geometric because honestly, if you do this much carving out of your face and you don't carve out your nose with the same level of intensity, it looks dumb and your nose looks lost, like it doesn't belong in the rest of the makeup. So you have to kind of make everything in the face live in the same world. And then you kind of just soften it. I love that. And it doesn't have to be perfect because this is a process called underpainting where you kind of paint the contours into the face. So once we powder on top and set it with powder contours, it will buff out a lot of the lines. So don't stress yourself out. Then I'm gonna take that lightest color and it's, you know, I'm brave, but get into it. I mean, I live in West Hollywood. There are men in my neighborhood with this nose. So we're almost near the end of the painting of the contouring, but we can't forget the forehead. And because your eyebrows are still drying, we're just gonna go around it. And then we're just gonna do a brown halo. Isn't that gorgeous? You are now the proud owner of a brown halo. And then to soften it, I'm gonna bring the brown halo down. Now we're gonna set it. I'm gonna set it with this powder. It's very old school, very old fashioned. It smells like old women. Katya uses it, I use it. Somebody told me that it has talc in it and you can get something called clown lung, which is like when you get a form of emphysema from makeup products. But I think it's safe to say if I was gonna get that, I would have got it a couple years ago already. So I think we're in the clear. Large, oversized powder puff, okay? And we're gonna go in here and I want you to pack this on with a reckless intensity, okay? And try not to breathe while you're doing this. Then, fluffy brush, you gotta dust away the excess before you continue. So I set my cream contours and highlights with powder cream contours and highlights. So I'm going with a really deep skin tone color of powder. And I'm gonna use a little straight edge. And start to go. See that? That clean, sexy line, I love that. And then what's great is when you're Trixie Mattel and you're like you're in a picture with someone, you don't even have to smile because your face doesn't move. So you just, that way when a bunch of bachelorettes want to take a picture with you, you know, and you have to sit in that cloud of entitlement for a couple seconds. And then they look at the picture and they're like, you didn't smile. Because I'm not happy, Brenda. I'm in day drag in Massachusetts, Linda. Bachelorettes always approach drag queens the same way. Can I have a picture? It's my birthday. Can I have a picture? It's my anniversary. I don't care if you die tomorrow, Brittany, okay? But I am jealous that you trapped a man. So while that kind of goes on the deeper color in the cheeks, I'm gonna go in with a really light. I mean, I work with two extremes because I really wanna see the highlights and the contours. A lot of drag queens do a lot of loose powders and I'm like, that's not gonna stick to your face, it's just gonna blow away. See how you're just gonna get more of a pop? If you're gonna do Trixie for Halloween, please go out at night, not daytime. My look is not good for daytime. I was outside in drag the other day and someone told me I was pretty and I should try out for Drag Race, so that's solid. Before we finish the contouring, I'm gonna tape a really deep brown color on that fluffy brush. And just like we did with the paint, I wanna just deepen the edge of this, just the ends. We're gonna do some blush, and I like to usually custom mix my blushes using eyeshadows. So I'm gonna use this little pink color and this little orange color, mix them together, like that. I'm so good at makeup. It's like stupid, it's completely stupid. All right, for my final layer of glue stick, a lot of people know this, it's gross, I'm sorry. I lick it, it's non-toxic, don't come for me. And I use that wet glue stick to kind of seal in that top layer because the moisture makes the top layer of glue softer. And then while the top layer is a little wet, this is important, you only have a small window here, you're gonna take that loose powder and set it. Because if you set it while it's wet, I feel that the pressing kind of flattens the top layer of glue. Learning to cover your eyebrows is honestly, it's one of the hardest things about doing any kind of drag makeup. It just takes practice. Get rid of the excess of that. Because now that we finally finished the brows, we can marry this top section with the rest of the face. So we're gonna marry those sections together. Now, set it and forget it. I'm gonna use this deep powder to just color in the sections on top. Before we go on, we're gonna set a layer, like a protective barrier under the eyes of loose powder so we don't spill any of the product on the cheeks. So I designed a makeup look for you guys that is only black eyeshadow and white eyeshadow. Get into it. This is my little black eyeshadow. I use this for eyeliner, eyeshadow. I can't live without this black eyeshadow. This is bulletproof. So this is how I roll. I take my little shadow in a little bit of contact solution. And that way, I'm gonna use it like an inkwell so I can wet my little flat brush and then dip it in the black. I look right into the mirror and I'm gonna sketch out the shape. I like to kind of draw my top layer, my top line of the winged eyeliner. And then I just have to bring it down. This is kind of a 60s Barbie kind of look, and I was always super inspired by the way that the dolls were painted in that period in time, because it was like a thick line with just kind of a brightly colored eyelid, and they always looked really sleepy, and I just thought that was so pretty. That's a big part of how I got inspired to do the makeup that I do now. My iconic makeup look, which has influenced the generation. I mean, if we're gonna call it what it is. So you've painted your top line, and you know where the corner of your eye is, so you're just going in and closing it off. And now that I've closed it off, I just fill it in. People are always like, but Trixie, haven't you always wanted to just do like natural makeup? Have you ever wanted to try it? Do you think Garth Brooks has ever wanted to try rap? Like that question doesn't even make sense to me. If I wanted to try it, I would do it. Oh, have you ever been on Tinder and you accidentally swipe left on a hot person too, and you're like, no, no. They say it's better to have loved and have lost than to never have swiped left at all. Sometimes on Tinder, I'm too scared to actually message someone. I guess you could say I'm like a chicken Tinder. It's important to make jokes for yourself when you do your makeup because you're supposed to get in the right mindset. I like to get makeup alone, and I like to listen to comedy albums because it gets me in the right mood for doing drag. If you're like a dancing queen, a lot of queens like to listen to music. You know, Morgan McMichaels puts her laptop up right in her makeup and plays like ear-splitting levels of drag mixes just to get her in the right mode. So Kimchi listens to like K-pop and Celine Dion. The music helps kind of inspire what you are gonna do. So I like to listen to jokes. Same brush, same product. We're gonna start to do the eyelid, okay? Last time on LogoTV, I did a look that was like blue, and this one's gonna be all black and smoky, so it is a little more lower skill level. So this is your first try at Trixie makeup. This is an easier look for you. So I'm gonna look right in the mirror, and I'm gonna think about the shape of the eye I want. So I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna sketch in the crease. That's kind of my guideline. So I'm looking at that, and then I'm gonna wipe off the brush a little bit, and I'm gonna use a slightly drier brush to kind of drag it inward. You see that? We're gonna be painting in the eyelid, but this is basically we're sketching around what we're gonna do later. Doesn't have to be perfect, but honestly, this part of the whole makeup, this part, you'd have to be a little precise. So don't be afraid to get in there, rest your elbow on your tabletop or your baby or whatever you have with you. Raven told me once I had one of the coolest makeups in Drag Race history, and for Raven to say that to you, I mean, I could die happy. And then I'm gonna go in with a little fluffy brush with the same black eyeshadow, and I'm gonna fluff that over this. What's it gonna do? It's gonna fill in some of the little crevices that we've created by using a flat brush on a glued down eyebrow, because you might be accidentally digging up some of the glue. So do try to use a gentle hand when you do this. You guys are gonna be a lot happier with this makeup if you try it a couple times before you go out for Halloween. You don't want Halloween to be your maiden voyage, that's crazy. If you wanted to be fancy, you could take a number of other colors, like you could take like a red or a blue, and you could buff out the edges so that you've got a gradient from black to like red to kind of warm it up or make it look a little more evil or something. But I just want to keep it with black because I want it to be really simple for you guys. This is a pro tip, you don't need another product. I'm gonna go back to my brown powder that I used to contour, and I'm gonna finish off the edges of the black with my face powder. I'm gonna dip my angle brush just like this. I'm gonna dip it into some of my contact solution, and I'm gonna use it with some yellow eyeshadow. See that? I love that. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that brown eyeshadow that we used earlier on our cheek, and I'm gonna wet my brush and just use a little bit on that angle brush to clean up and give a little more shape and structure to the brow. So now you got that, and that looks okay, but it's a little sloppy. So for clarity, we're gonna go in the foundation, one of the lighter colors that we started with, and I'm gonna go around. See that? That's this side versus this side, it's such a difference. The biggest thing, you guys, is you have to be living for what you're doing. I'm just gonna wipe off the brush, and I use the corner of the brush to marry the black to the foundation we just used. You almost get this gray color, do you see that? So I was just using the lightest concealer. Now I'm going in with our base color that we started with, and that's what I'm gonna use to sketch around the top of the brows. If you do a really architectural sculpted brow, it is a little harder, so just do a lighter colored brow. So then I'm gonna go in and just set this upper area. I'm gonna go in with some white body paint. This one comes in a stick, but you can get it in a cup, you can get it in a lot of different ways. I'm gonna go in and paint in that eyelid. It's a lot more effective. Taking the same product, I'm going right under my eyes, and I'm painting right up to, but not over, the eyeliner. See that? So we're kind of just going under the eye with this white. I'm gonna use one of my favorite makeup tools, my ring finger. It's free. Well, your mom gave it to you, but it's free. I'm obsessed with white eyeshadow. I went through like 3 of these just this summer. I love white eyeshadow. I'm gonna go in and set the eyelid. Same thing on the bottom. I'm gonna finish up a little bit of this eye shape by pressing a teeny bit of the white just under the brow. Just the powder, not the cream, because I don't want it to be as white as the eye, but I do want it to be a little bit lifted right under the brow. It's good to keep your powders on hand because it's great. You can use them a lot of the time almost as an eraser or, to buff things out. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna start to paint this baby closed. You could do a lot of things here. You could leave the ends open, that'd be kind of cool. I like to close it off because I like that really smoky outer look. So now we are closing off the edge of this bad boy. I'm gonna do a little bit of powder under this eye because I want to go in and set that black with black like we did earlier. That same fluffy brush, I'm just gonna set it. And I did this because I don't want the black eyeshadow to fall onto my face. You can use lash glue for all kinds of stuff, not just lashes. So I'm gonna take a little bit of it on my pinky finger, and I'm gonna pat it over the black. Because you guys, this is another, you don't have to have the black perfect down here because we're gonna put some glitter over it, so it's really gonna, it's gonna buff out a lot of your mistakes. Glitter is a great tool to cover up mistakes. I'm patting in this little glitter. We finish off that black with some silver. And this is 3D silver, so it's silver, but it shines rainbow. It's pretty cool. Then I'm gonna set the highlights with white eyeshadow. And again, if you have deeper skin tone, don't do this, 'cause it's gonna look crazy, but you could use more of a gold. I'm gonna finish off this little blush. It's a little more orange. Love it. Love orange blush. Tatiana from All Stars is like the queen of orange blush. She always looks so pretty. Before we put lashes on and contacts, I'm just gonna paint my eyelashes black. You could do mascara, but I just need them hidden. I don't really need them to look thicker. I just don't want them to look white. You are not Trixie Mattel unless you have blue contacts in. That is just a fact. And look at the difference that blue makes. It just pops right through. All right, now I'm gonna put on some lashes. And I wear 6 pairs of 301 lashes on top and then a small pair on the bottom. So if you're counting along at home, that's 14 strips of eyelashes on my face. But when you're not talented, you really just need to, go for it. So I got a little bit of lash adhesive on here. And I do something that's kind of weird. Maybe you guys can do it too. I put it on both strips because my eye makeup is so crazy. I want you guys to realize we're not wearing them on the lash line. We're wearing the lashes like in here, in the pocket of your eye. And I look right in the mirror, and I put them right in the crease. For bottom lashes, you have a whole lot of options. I like something really chunky that really gives me like a 60s kind of fantasy on the bottom. So I'm gonna mix a couple different things here because we have a really stark, bold, dark eye, and I want a light lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this color. It's my all-time favorite. The shape of the lip, I mean, go big. Don't play games with me. You're not Trixie if you're just following your lip line. That's not gonna look cool. For this look, I'm not really gonna do a lip liner. I'm gonna do this color, and then I'm gonna use white, and it's gonna highlight the middle. Now you guys, I'm gonna go put on some other stuff so we can go from this to this. You guys, I added my little 60s flowy gown. I added some fun little bobbly plastic jewelry, some cheap little flowers in my hair, and we have all the essentials. Now when you go out, people are gonna think you're me. And if people think you're me and they want a picture, just be nice and get yourself $1 for it.
Hey, squirrel friend. When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.